And what I'm going to do to celebrate my 3,000 subscribers is I'm going to have a little giveaway. I'm going to start to do a challenge for you. This is going to be a hard challenge, but you're going to enjoy it, hopefully. Nicholas speaking, and welcome to this video. Nicholas speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, I've had a look through Nick's archives and he doesn't really have many painting tutorials, so I thought I'd do one for you. So today I'm going to show you how to make these very cool rocky bases that I did for my orcs. Okay, hopefully you enjoy the tutorial. Okay, so first of all the actual bases. Now I'm using these resin bases, but you can use any base that you like. Just put some rocks on, or just a normal base if you want to, but these are the ones that I'm using. And first of all you'll want to spray them black and get them ready for painting. So just prime them up black, and what we're going to do first is we're going to go over the sand areas with some Rhinox hide, also known as scorched brown, the old colour. So I'm just going to go over all of the sand areas with this paint. Okay, so that's those done. And what I need to do now is just let them dry, and then we'll get on and start highlighting that sand. Okay, so now that's dry, we're going to go in and dry brush them up in various colours. So first of all I'm going to go in with some Bastille Brown, and just going to dry brush that. Now obviously you can do any colours that you like for your particular sand, but this is how I do mine. Now I'm going to dry brush with snakebite leather. And now I'm going to go in with some bleached bone. Right, that's the sand highlighted. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back over the rocks with some black, just to tidy that up from the dry brushing. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Right, so now they're dry, I'm going to go in with Codex Grey just over the rocks themselves. Okay, that's the first coat done. I'm going to let that dry and I'll go back in and do another coat. Okay, so they're dry. I'm going to go in now with the second coat of grey, and just going to carefully go around the edges now, try not to get it onto the sand. Okay, so that's that done, and the important thing there is to get a nice even coat so that everything is covered up nicely. I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to come on to the real fun part. Okay, so that's those totally dry, and like I said, this is going to be the fun part. So what you need to get is as many washes as you have, as many as you can get. The only wash you don't want at this stage is the black wash. But all the other colours we're going to use, and what we're going to do is we are going to randomly colorise these with the washes. So it's just literally a case of just putting some random spots of all the different colours all over the rocks. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, there you go. So that's every single piece of grey been coloured, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to have to let this thoroughly dry before we do the next stage. So I'll come back when it's all dried up. Okay, mine is mishap because I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So once that dried, I've basically got some Nullen oil, and I've watered it down slightly, and I've proceeded to put this little mix over everything. That's over the sand and over the rocks. Unfortunately, as I said, I've just lost the clip that I've just done. So, but anyway, yes. So basically, you just go over with Nullen oil all over that once it's all dry. And what that's going to do is going to tone down all of those colours. Once again, you're going to have to make sure that's already make sure it's really dry before we go on to the next stage. Okay, so that wash is all dried, and as you can see, we've got this rather nice coloured effect on these rocks. We're going to now go into the next stage, and that's going to be to dry brush this back up with our original Codex Grey colour. So we're going to just dry brush that up now. Now, you don't want to do this too light. This can be reasonably heavy, but not too heavy. You want to be able to see those different colours underneath. You'll get my drift as I do it. Okay, so here we go. You can see the colours underneath still, but we're getting a nice grey effect. Okay, so that's done. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over the whole of the base. That's the rocks and the sand. And we're going to do a dry brush of Debham stone. Now, you don't necessarily have to go too hard with this one. This can be just a nice light dry brush, or medium dry brush I would say. So let's go over that with Debham stone. Start with this one. So all we're doing really is accentuating all of the rocky sort of edges, still keeping obviously the all the different colours there. So effectively you're just bringing out the rocks themselves with this dry brush. And then go over the top of the sand, because obviously we put that black wash over the sand, so this just brings up those highlights of the sand as well. Okay, so that's that one. And lastly, we're going to go over with pure skull white. Now this white dry brush is going to be a very light dry brush. We're effectively just trying to hit the very edges of the rocks. Just getting the paint ready. Okay, let's have a go at that. So again, a very light dry brush over the whole thing, but just very lightly, so literally it just picks up the very edges of the rocks. And you're not doing this on the sand, just on the rocks this time. There you go, done. So the only thing left to do now is go around the trim here. I'm going to do mine in Chaos Black. You can do yours however you want. And then maybe after they've been varnished at the end, maybe add a bit of static grass here and there on the sand sections. That's it. So hopefully you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to do a cool rocky bases. And thanks for watching.